The Enchiridion by Epictetus. Publisher's Introduction. In an age of endless distractions, mounting anxieties, and constant upheaval, the ancient wisdom of Epictetus speaks to us with remarkable clarity and urgency. The Enchiridion, or Handbook, has guided readers for nearly 2 millennia, offering practical wisdom about what it means to live well amid life's inevitable challenges. This modernized edition makes Epictetus's timeless insights accessible to contemporary readers through clear, modern English. Epictetus, CE 50, 135 AD, was born into slavery in Hierapolis, in what is now Turkey. Despite his circumstances, or perhaps because of them, he developed a philosophical outlook that emphasized personal responsibility and the importance of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. After gaining his freedom, he established a school of philosophy in Nicopolis, Greece, where his teachings attracted students from across the Roman Empire. Unlike many ancient philosophers who focused on abstract theoretical systems, Epictetus was primarily concerned with practical ethics, how to live a good life in the face of adversity. The Enchiridion represents a distillation of Epictetus's core teachings, compiled by his student Arrian. In just 53 short chapters, it presents the essential principles of Stoic philosophy in a form designed for daily application. The text's enduring influence can be traced through centuries of Western thought, from early Christian writers to modern philosophers and psychologists. This modern translation aims to bridge the temporal and cultural gap between Epictetus's world and our own, while maintaining the philosophical depth of his message. Through clear, contemporary English, readers can directly engage with these timeless teachings that have guided countless individuals through life's challenges. The Enchiridion has endured because it addresses fundamental aspects of the human experience that remain constant across time and culture. While the specific challenges we face today may differ from those of ancient Rome, the underlying principles of how to maintain equanimity, cultivate wisdom, and live ethically remain unchanged. Epictetus's direct, often confrontational style, which he used to challenge his students' assumptions and behaviors, retains its power to provoke reflection and inspire change in modern readers. This text is not merely a historical document or philosophical treatise, it is a practical guide to living well. In these pages, readers will find wisdom about dealing with loss, maintaining dignity in difficult circumstances, building meaningful relationships, and developing inner strength. Whether facing personal challenges, professional difficulties, or broader societal issues, Epictetus's guidance remains remarkably relevant and practical. To browse other updated works, please visit oldbooknew.com. The Enchiridion. 1. Some things are under our control, and some things aren't. We can control our opinions, goals, desires, dislikes, and basically anything that's truly up to us. On the other hand, things like our body, possessions, reputation, job, and generally anything that's not entirely ours to manage are beyond our control. Things that are within our control are naturally free, unrestricted, and unhindered. But things beyond our control are weak, dependent, restricted, and not really ours. Remember, if you try to claim freedom over things that are naturally dependent and take what belongs to others as your own, you'll face obstacles, feel upset, get disturbed, and blame both gods and people. But if you only claim what's truly yours and see what belongs to others for what it really is, then no one can force you, no one can limit you. You won't blame anyone, you won't accuse anyone, you won't do anything against your will. No one will hurt you, you won't have enemies, and you won't suffer any harm. So if you're aiming for such big goals, remember that you can't let yourself get even a little distracted by other things. You need to completely let go of some of them and put others on hold for now. But if you want to have these big goals and also gain power and wealth, you might miss out on power and wealth while chasing those goals. And you'll definitely miss out on what truly brings happiness and freedom. Try to immediately recognize any unpleasant appearance by saying, "You're just an appearance, not the real deal." Then analyze it using the guidelines you have, especially this one. Does it relate to things within your control or not? If it's something beyond your control, be ready to say it doesn't matter to you. 2. Remember that wanting something means you're aiming to get it, and avoiding something means you're trying to stay away from it. If you don't get what you want, you'll feel disappointed. And if you end up facing what you want to avoid, you'll feel miserable. So if you only avoid things you can actually control, you'll never have to deal with what you don't want. But if you try to avoid things like sickness, death, or poverty, you're risking unhappiness. Stop worrying about things you can't control and focus on avoiding things you can control. For now, try to hold back on wanting things too much. If you want things that are out of your control, you'll likely end up disappointed. You're not yet fully in control of the things you can desire, so be careful with what you choose to want. Whenever you need to go after or avoid something, do it with care, gentleness, and balance. 3. When it comes to things that either make you happy, are useful, or are dearly loved, remind yourself of their true nature, starting with the smallest things. If you have a favorite cup, remember it's just a cup that you like, so if it breaks, you can handle it. If you hug your child or your spouse, remember you're hugging a mortal being, so if either of them passes away, you can cope with it. 4. Whenever you start doing something, remind yourself of what usually happens during that activity. If you're going to take a bath, think about the typical things that happen there. Some people might be splashing water, others might be crowding in, some might be arguing, and others might be taking things. By preparing yourself like this, you can handle the situation better by saying, "I'm going to take a bath and stay calm and in tune with what's happening around me." Do this for every activity. That way, if something unexpected happens while you're bathing, you can remind yourself, "I didn't just want to take a bath. I wanted to stay calm and in tune with what's happening. I won't achieve that if I get upset about things that occur." 5. People aren't upset by things themselves, but by how they see those things. For example, death isn't inherently scary. If it were, Socrates would have found it terrifying. The fear comes from our belief that death is something to be afraid of. So when we feel blocked, upset, or sad, we shouldn't blame others, but look at ourselves, specifically our own perspectives. It's typical for someone who hasn't learned this to blame others for their problems. Someone starting to learn will blame themselves, and someone who has fully learned won't blame anyone, not even themselves. 6. Don't get too proud about something that's not your own achievement. If a horse were to brag and say, "I'm beautiful," that might be understandable. But if you brag and say, "I have a beautiful horse," remember that you're just boasting about the horse's qualities, not your own. So what's truly yours? It's how you make use of the things in life. When you're in tune with nature in this way, you'll have a real reason to feel proud because you'll be proud of something that's genuinely yours. 7. Imagine you're on a journey and your ship is anchored. If you go ashore to get some water, you might enjoy picking up a shellfish or a truffle along the way. But remember,